Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys are having a beautiful last day. Man, I slept in super late today. It's crazy, but we're here. We're ready to tackle this Brice Rhodes case. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say shout out all the new members that joined in the live yesterday. You guys are awesome. Going live again today, so make sure you guys are aware of that. Make sure you guys are present. 4 p.m. PST, as usual. And yeah, check out the Patreon, check out the Instagram, exclusive videos, all that good shit. Let's go ahead and go straight into the Brice Rhodes case. We're going over the grandmother of the two teens' testimony. It's an emotional one. Let's get straight into this.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you introduce yourself to the jury?
Deborah Wren.
How do you spell your last name?
W-R-E-N.
Ma'am, how are you connected to this case?
I'm their grandmother.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness? Do you recognize these photos?
It's Brice and Larry.
You know these photos you all gave us of the boys?
Yeah.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth moves to introduce 16 and 70.
No objection.
Admitted. Okay. Which one's Reese?
That's Brice.
Okay. And obviously that's Larry.
Mhm.
And if you could...
They look like babies, bro. It's crazy how Brice, I understand the 17-year-old. He's a grown-ass man, right? Cool, whatever. He's still a kid in the brain, but he's 17, 18. Okay, you go to war at those ages, right? But these kids were 14, 15. That shit is crazy. They're babies, pudgy cheeks and shit. Like, what is going on?
Hard. Can you tell the jury about Reese and Larry?
Brice and Larry.
You know she left those pictures up there to get her as emotional as possible. She didn't have to leave those pictures up there. But hey, they're smart. They're like, oh, we're gonna get this woman to cry. Like, why are you gonna leave the pictures in front of her while she's testifying? Like, come on now. But that's all I'm saying. But they're saying, hey, we're gonna get this conviction. Listen here, we're gonna get this conviction.
Really good kids. They did good in school and they played sports and they were really good-natured boys. They never been in trouble. And they were very loving. They got along with everybody. They were well liked at school. Their teachers really thought a lot of them. They were involved in sports. They were just good boys.
In May of 2016, how old?
Okay, now I will say they probably weren't. They're probably all around good boys, but I'm pretty sure they're doing some bullshit. You know what I mean? They said those two like to fight around a lot, and which is all normal. Like, I don't think they're into any gang shit. I don't think they're into any house licks. None of that. I think they were just rowdy. You know what I mean? Getting into bullshit in high school. But they're smart. And then Brice took that opportunity, since he was messing with the mom and all that shit. He took that opportunity to turn that rowdiness and that kind of just stubbornness into something negative. He's like, oh, yeah, I could show them the dark side of things, to say, for lack of better words, you know what I mean? I could show them, they could be my little minions. I swear that's what he wanted. He wanted these little kids to grow up under his command or something like that. Weirdo.
How old was Maurice?
16,
And how old was Larry?
14,
Did they usually hang out together?
always.
What school did they go to?
Homestead Academy.
Homestead. What neighborhood did they live in?
It's around the Beachmont area.
Is that in around Iroquois Park?
Yes, Iroquois Park area.
And how are you related to them?
I'm their grandmother.
Right? Are you their mother or father's mother?
My daughter is the mother.
Yeah, I knew her daughter was the mother because I think I saw her daughter in court one time. She's like, don't look at me. Don't speak to me. And I was wondering why he was blowing, why he was blowing kisses at her and shit. I was like, that's kind of weird, but okay, that's his way of being an asshole. I guess that's how he wants to do it. No, it's because they know each other. She looks just like her daughter.
And what's your daughter's name?
Elizabeth.
Who are their fathers?
Larry Ordway and Maurice Gordon.
So they were each a junior?
Yes.
And was your daughter involved in their lives?
Yes.
And were their fathers involved in their lives?
No.
It's crazy how the fathers weren't involved, and she named each one of them after their daddy. So as he grows up and as he becomes his father, you're just gonna be calling him his father's name. I don't know. That's a little. I understand the junior if they're in his life, but they just, pretty much, did their thing with you and took off. I wouldn't be naming them the man's name. I'm just saying.
At that time, was your daughter having a few issues?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe a little bit about what the home life was like?
She was just having a hard time, with just doing things and,
Drugs.
trying to make ends meet and things of that nature.
Were there times when there wasn't enough food?
Yes.
Did they have any siblings?
Yes.
And who is that?
20, their sister.
How old was she back then?
I'm gonna say about 9 or 10.
Okay. How old is she now?
17.
Is there a new sibling that they would have met if they lived?
Larissa.
Mm-hmm. And when was she born?
September the 22nd, 2017.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
For the defense?
I don't have any questions, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Wren, you are free to step down. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so that's pretty much grandma doing her thing, I feel like just trying to hit the jury with the feels, just trying to get them riled up. And shit, I mean, it's working. I'm pretty sure it's working, I would say. Now they have another officer pull up, so it's all connected in one video, so we're just gonna go ahead and finish out the video. That was my main focus, was the grandma, though. Look at how he glares at
Hi,
everybody.
Officer Spalding, you can come on up. Have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?
I do not.
Thank you, officer. You can have a seat.
Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Stephanie Spalding,
Where do you work?
LMPD's 3rd Division,
How long have you been with LMPD?
since 2009.
And when you say the 3rd Division, is LMPD divided up into a number of divisions?
Yes, I apologize. We have 8 divisions and then several other specialty units, but now I'm in the 3rd.
And does each division cover a certain geographic area?
Yes.
At the time of May of 2016, where were you working?
In the homicide unit?
Were you aware on May 22nd of the case on River Park?
I'm not positive of my work schedule that particular day, but I did not respond to that particular scene.
And how many people were in the homicide unit back then, approximately?
Approximately 25 to 30.
Okay. And how do you all divide up responsibilities?
As a new case is called in or we're notified, then that particular detective would then take that case and we would fall in line right behind them.
So is there a rotation and
Yeah.
just your day, that's the case you get?
Yes, and we would often help others, but we may or may not be available to respond to every single scene.
So on May 22nd, was the case assigned to Detective Tonelli? The case on River Park?
According to the case records, yes.
Yeah. So obviously, not all 25 detectives rushed to River Park, right?
Correct.
Because everybody has their own cases. Okay. But did you all help each other as needed on cases?
Yes, we did.
So at some point, were you asked to do some things on this case?
Yes.
And what was your first role in this case?
My first role was actually on May 24th. So it was a few days later, and I was working in the homicide unit at the time in the office, and I did take a phone call from JCPS.
And what were you directed to respond to a certain school?
Yes, I was asked to go to Olmsted North in regards to an assistant principal who wanted to speak with us more in depth about the 2 young victims.
And at that time, prior to this phone call, did you all have an identity for the victims?
No.
And did Olmsted give give you names of children that they thought it might be.
Yes.
How did Ellen?
Oh yeah, because they put them in tote bags, took them to dumpsters, and burnt them, right? So it's like they didn't even have an identity yet. That shit is absolutely crazy, yo. Man, and the way he looks at her, he wasn't glaring at her. I just realized he's been in jail so long. That's probably the first pretty woman he's seen in a minute. So he's like, yeah, shit, this is my last time. Let me take it all in. Let me take all this shit in, because the CEO is probably not going to be that pretty if she's a female. You know, let me stop. But he's like, yeah, let me take this in, because I'm going to the hole forever.
He put out information about the children.
There were sketches that were released to the media of the 2 victims.
Okay. And why sketches and not photos?
We were unable to identify them, and it would have been too difficult for anyone to have to see those things.
The actual photos of.
Yes, I'm sorry. The photo.
So after you responded to Olmsted North, did you then have an identity of the children? A possible identity?
Yes, we did, and then we went to the address of that was provided to us.
Who did you meet at the address?
I was with another detective who then interviewed their mother.
The mother of the children?
Yes.
Okay. After that, did you all get information that led you to another address?
Yes, and at some point during that day, again, we do go to several different scenes and help detectives on various things, that I went to Haight Avenue.
And who did you understand that address to belong to?
Brice Rhodes.
Okay. What did you do at Haight Avenue?
First, I was sent there to keep it as a secure location to make sure nobody came in or out of it while a search warrant was being written, so I remained outside of the building.
Was the search warrant completed?
Yes.
And did you all go into an apartment?
Yes, we did.
Do you recall the address?
May I reference the letters?
If there's no, yes.
Okay, thank you. The address,
Yes.
763 North Haight Avenue, number 2.
Do you recall the layout of the building 763?
Yes.
How many units are inside of it, approximately?
So it's a building of, I believe, 4, if it was only 2 stories. So you go in and into a main doorway, where then you go downstairs for the units 1 and 2, or you can come back up and go to the upstairs for units 3 and 4.
And what type of apartment complex was it?
It was a gated condo type townhome community.
And were there lots of other units?
See, he want to play Mr. Gangster and all that shit. He has a nice ass little townhome community apartment with his mommy. Like, Brice Rhodes was never hard. He was never a gangster. Like, bro was just a cornball and was just sick at the end of the day. He was just a sicko.
Sharing a parking lot.
Yes, maybe 15 to 20 buildings or so.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. We're gonna come through, like I said in the last video, I think I said, we're gonna come through, oh no, I said on live. We're gonna do most of the police officers next. We're gonna do a bunch of the defense to Brice Rhodes. Then we're gonna wrap this case up in, in our own time, because it finished so fast and there is a lot of content we need to go through. So you guys let me know. You keep going, don't keep going. And also keep your eyes open. We're gonna check out this new topic, AJ Armstrong, but I'm gonna put like a little teaser, a little commercial type situation, just to see if you guys are interested. And those are the comments that I'm really gonna be reading to see if you guys wanna dive into that case. And until then, people, stay inside, stay safe, look out for your kids, you know what I mean? Make sure they're not on no bullshit. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.